Hi, welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. My name is Lonnie, and I am starting to work on hashtag Junk Journal Madness August edition, and I'm going to try something a little different this time since we are encouraged to step out of our comfort zone. So this journal this month is the theme is fruit. And so I'm going to do my journal cover today, and I'm going to start with this file folder. And so what I'm going to do, and I hope you choose to join me because this is going to be fun because it stretches us and it helps us grow. So my choice is to work with this file folder because I'm going to be making a smaller journal, one signature, and otherwise I just feel like it's going to be overwhelming for me at this time. So because I give most of my journals away anyways, I'm gonna keep it fairly small. So what I need to do is take this sample piece of paper here, and I'm going to cut this file folder to size, and I will make it a little taller than I need because I just like to have it a little taller. So let's see. I like to have about at least a quarter, maybe half an inch, probably close to half an inch. And then I need to see how I can get it straight. So let's start there. It doesn't look straight. I'll go there. Now this could make a small journal, so I think I'm going to do that too at some other point, maybe with scraps, because my point in making a journal is to use full-size pages. That's just the size I prefer because it's easy, and why wouldn't I? So then there's this piece here. I think what I'm going to do is take off I don't know, I might, because I was thinking of rounding it, but I was also thinking of leaving enough for a pocket. So what I might do is this back one, just level it off. If I can get it to hold still. Okay. And then maybe what I was thinking was making a little bit of a spine, and since it has these folds here, I was thinking I might give it just the tiniest little spine, but I think I'm going to need to give that a bit more of a crease. So if I have that in the right spot, it's kind of hard to see. So that's the big crease, and then the spine should go about there. If that did anything. Not really, I'll have to try it again. Going to line it up, or try. Okay, I'll work with that a little bit later. Right now, I still want to see if I can maybe just trim that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to say that's good for now. And then I want to get that crease in there. Maybe I'll do that. Looks like it did take after all. So I have a spine. It's the it's the width of 2 of the folds, but that's okay. And I think I cut myself on my paper cutter. The dangers of crafting. Alright, so I did get that. Not quite straight. It's alright. So then, I have some room here. And I think I might just do the pocket on the back. And I think I'm going to cut the front down. So I want the front about 6 inches. Oh, I did just do that. Well, you saw it. I did it. I cut it in the wrong place. It's okay. I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to use it anyways. But I need to measure. So I need this about 6 inches. Let's see if I glue that in there. Yeah, I'll do that. I will take that and I will glue it inside there. And what shall I use? See, I'm not going to waste it. I'm still going to go ahead. I think I'm going to use my tape, this one from Walmart. I think it's pretty strong. And I might just use a small piece first to tack it down. Actually, I could have used glue. I might do that. Use that later. Alright, so there's about 1.5 inches overlap. And I want it to come pretty close to there. So I'm just gonna glue this. Alright, so this is how not to waste your paper. And I think I'm actually going to put this curve to the inside. That way I can round the corners to my liking later. And I won't be stuck having that if I choose to have it perfectly round. Okay, so there's that. And it's not really going to matter anyways because I'm going to cover, I'm basically going to collage on the cover. But here, I want to make sure that I have a nice crease. I'm gonna just measure that. And crease, I said, not cut, because I want to make a pocket. So that's about 2.5 inches, but I want it a little less than that. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna probably go just under 2.5 inches. Don't want the cutter, I want the piece. Okay. I'm a little nervous about this because I haven't done a file folder. I think I have used file folder for a journal cover before, just not in this capacity. I haven't collaged anything, and I'm not covering it with fabric per se. Usually I think the other time then I made a journal cover out of file folder, I think I did use fabric. Okay, so this time we're going to put this as the pocket. However, I am going to collage the whole back side, and then this will be collaged. Not quite sure what I'm going to do on the inside yet, but first, to save time on the video, I am going to kind of tear or cut all these pieces, and I'll be back for the gluing part. Alright, so I'm just creasing the folds so I don't lose them as I collage. And I'm going to do the new fold in there as well. I think I forgot to ask, how is everyone doing today? Hope you're enjoying your day. Okay. I think I'm going to start on the back side. These are all the papers I cut and tore, so I might have to put those aside, make a little more room. So I was inspired to do the collage thing by Michelle at the Creative Cove, and she used glue stick. And she used glue stick, and she was covering an old book cover, like an actual book cover. I am going to use a little bit stronger glue. I'm going to use my Barely Arts because I want these to last. I don't want them to fall apart because I am giving them away. Doesn't mean I want to cheap out on them. I don't really trust the glue sticks. But I could be totally wrong. I'm sure Michelle's been doing this a lot longer than I have, so. Alright. I'm going to want them to hang off the edge a little bit. Or I might want to show the edge a little bit. I haven't quite decided. Maybe for now I'll show a little bit. And what I might do is use both. I might do the glue stick for the center, because this is just paper to paper. I think when you get to using like actual book cover, it might not be paper to paper any longer. It might be plastic. So I will use the strong stuff on the edges, because I do want this to stay down. I do want to cover up the lines on the file folder. And I have a ton of papers here. I probably won't even use them all, but I wanted to have enough. I found some grid paper at the thrift store, and it looked old, so I grabbed that. And I forgot to, I'm going to go over the edges later and see if they need reinforcing. That way, if they didn't, if the glue stick didn't take, like right there, then I can reinforce it with the Barely Arts if I forget to do it as I'm going, which I just did, so. I want to overlap these as well. So I'm going to just cut that there. I may fast forward this if I find it's getting tedious and it needs to get done. I don't like to waste people's time when they're watching either. I like to kind of keep it moving. All right, so that is the outside, and I like it, but I noticed that where I first started is not the same as what I ended up with, which is this is more a single ply and this is more layered, and I really like the layered look. So I'm thinking of going back and maybe adding some pieces just to give it a bit more pizzazz. Just gonna tear that Live Dangerously. Psalm 70, Psalm 37, okay, both sides. Guess it doesn't matter which part faces up. So that's just giving it more oomph. This is actually quite fun. I never used to really like collaging. Now that I think I've managed to simplify it because I use more neutral colors. And so it's a lot easier for my brain now to layer things. So maybe that's the secret, I don't know. So just to stagger it a little bit, and then maybe over here a little too. Don't really like the words on there. Have some blank. Okay. See that sticking up there, so I'll just tack it down. Sorry if I'm too close to the camera. It's kind of difficult to find the right setting all the time. Okay, so there we have that. So that's the front, and then this will be the pocket. Still tacky. So what shall I do on the inside? I kind of like the outside, and I'm wondering if I should just continue on the inside as well. That would just reinforce it nicely, and it would make it a little more sturdy. So I think I'm going to continue, and I'm only going to do as far as there. I'll go in a little bit, and I have a little sticky outy thing here. I think that worked fairly well using both glues. And this is a really old piece of paper. It's from a book. And it's very fragile. So I want to use it. And there's this thing ripped, but I don't mind. I like that rough look. Just adds more texture. So tell me in the comments if you are participating in a hashtag JJ Madness, and it is hosted by Susan at I Totally Love It. And she has a guest host this month, and that is Katy at, oh Katy, where are you at? I like to cut and paste. I think that's the name of her channel. And I need to glue this better. That's not the greatest job, but likely I will put a pocket there. This is the front inside. And we will probably craft over top of it, so not too worried. Okay. Want some coffee dyed paper. We'll use that there. Maybe I'll do that. Sorry if I'm not on screen, I just noticed that. That's pretty skinny. I'll just do the one type. Whoops. It likes to slide around. Okay. And I got some glue there, so I'll probably... This, I think, would have looked good too if I had taken the time to ink all the edges of everything. But I'll leave that for if I have the urge to ink something. That usually doesn't happen. Alright, I'm just gonna take that. Let's see. Not the most uplifting words at that particular spot. I'm going to fast forward the rest of this. I'll see you in a minute. All right, well, that was actually a lot of fun. And I think I can see myself making more of these. Just need to recrease some things here. Okay, and then we need to attach this. I'll try gluing it down first and clamping it. Like so. I'll have to crease the spine again. And flatten it on the inside. And now I'm going to let it dry and see if I have to reinforce anything here. Looks a little bubbly here, so I might cover that. And after it dries, I will also see if I need to tack down anything else, like right there. So yeah, we have started. This is the cover. And if I didn't mention it, the theme is fruit. So I am looking forward to that. I have not made a fruit journal. So lots of firsts in this one. So for materials, she threw the dice and it landed on some numbers, and I can't remember what they were right now, but they were just guidelines. And so there were several materials that we were encouraged to use, like different ones and different things to put inside. So I'm going to see how it comes along. I'm not really going to stress over getting the exact number of things, but rather it's just to get you motivated to actually making something and try something new. So yeah, go check out Susan at I Totally Love It and Katy at I Like to Cut and Paste, and check out their channels and see what they're up to. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.